G'day my friends and welcome to the Grow Table. Now have I got a really exciting video for you guys today, because at the Grow Table recently we've been talking about kangkong and the betel leaf and growing these amazing plants because they can handle the heat. Well, today I've got another awesome plant for you straight out of Vietnam, and you can grow it at your place too, yes, even in temperate zones in the summer. Marty's garden is all about compost worms, composting, farming worms indoors and out, and growing some of the most awesome food around. You can learn how by clicking the subscribe button and hitting the bell so you don't miss any of my videos.
Welcome world to the Marty's Garden Show.
Revolution. Feet move.
G'day my friends, Marty, we're here from martysgarden.com.au. The Grow Table, man. The Grow Table rocks and you guys are loving it. So I'm going to keep creating these videos, and today I've got a really special plant for you called Vietnamese Mint or Vietnamese Coriander. It's got a few different common names. I'm sorry I don't know the botanical name, but I'll try and look it up and get it in down below there while I'm making this video. Now, the reason why I'm introducing this plant is because it can be grown right around the world as long as you have a hot summer. So you treat it as an annual, or you can still grow it as a perennial if you bring it indoors and overwinter it in your area, maybe on a warm spot on the windowsill or a little greenhouse or something like that. It is an amazing plant that can really handle the heat. It will grow in part shade, full sun. It does need a lot of water, and it will grow like in ponds and things. I picked mine up in an aquatic section at Bunnings in the nursery area in Australia, believe it or not. So all you need to do is look for Vietnamese Mint. If you don't see it like in the herb or the Asian section, go and have a look in the aquatic zone. You just may find it in there as well. It's usually pretty cheap, only a few bucks for a little pot. Really, really cool plant, and it strikes from a cutting no problem. So how you grow it is generally, I have never struck it from seed myself, so I grow mine from cutting, and you just basically snip off a bit, take off the bottom leaves, cut the leaves at each end, stick it in some water. In about 4 or 5 days you'll have roots. Let a nice big root system start up, and then put it into a pot, soak it right down, and put it with a lot of water in a shaded spot until it starts growing, and then slowly move it out into the sun. You may also find it in Asian markets and things like that, in Asian shops where they're selling leafy greens and stuff. You can just grab that plant like you would a kangkong. You can get that also there, strike it in water from cutting. And the betel leaf, which I've introduced at the Grow Table, so we've done kangkong, the betel leaf already, and I'll leave a card up above for those guys if you've missed those videos on the Grow Table, because they're important plants that we can grow around the world in the middle of the heat, and they combine together really good and make delicious meals. See, you can actually get that betel leaf, cook some kangkong or fresh kangkong, a little bit of Vietnamese mint, a little bit of noodles or a little bit of rice, wrap it up, tuna or something, and boom, you've got a meal pretty much straight away, and live. It's almost alive because you're grabbing it, harvesting it, and eating it straight away. It's just absolutely amazing. You can put those betel leaves around like rice paper wraps too, which I did the other day. I had my mum here for the weekend, and Cara and I and my mother, we went out and enjoyed some breakfast, and we had the rice paper rolls, Vietnamese ones, and I said to Cara, I said, I'm going to make them when we get home, and she tried my one. I said, is it better? She looked at me and gone, it's much better, Dad, because it's healthy, fresh food, straight from the garden, and the right recipes. The reason I know a lot of this is because I lived in Asia for 4 years, right? So, and travelled through Indonesia for another 7 years off and on, surfing and things. So, actually I was in 5 years, I think, nearly 5 years in living in Asia. Wow, time really does get away. Karen was born in Bangkok, believe it or not. Yes, she was. Anyway, getting back, because we're drifting away from the story, Vietnamese mint. It can be grown in partial shade and in full sun. Lots of water, many different soil types. If you're growing in a pot, a really good potting mix. If you're growing it in the soil, make sure you've got lots of compost in there because it needs to stay damp, and compost holds around about 70 to 80% water. Worm castings, if you've got it, and a bit of liquid fertilizer here and there if it's in containers, will keep it really healthy. And if you find that it's sort of drooping a bit from the heat or whatever, just move it into a little bit of a shaded spot. It loves a haircut, loves to be harvested hard, and so you can harvest from it all the time. Actually, the more the harvest, the thicker it grows. It grows out new branches out the side and becomes a really, really amazing plant. So if you're in the subtropics, you're in the tropics, you can grow that all year round, no problem. Temperate zones, bring it indoors. Now, have you got a plant that you would like to share with me, a special plant that maybe no one else knows about? Or you've got an experience with Vietnamese mint or kangkong or betel leaf, one of those ones, or you've got a question about them, leave them down below for me here at the Grow Table, because I will get back and answer and help you. And I also want to hear what you've been growing, especially at home, that you love, that maybe no one else knows or can even handle the heat. All right, so quick one from the Grow Table today. If you haven't subscribed, more videos about worm farming, composting, growing amazing food, sustainable gardening, sustainable agriculture, all that really cool stuff, all thrown into one to help you develop and grow at home in your urban garden organically. Have a great day. Happy gardening. Don't forget to give me the thumbs up, share the love. Here comes the hand. Songs coming on. Music. Bring on the music. Yeah. Bye for now.
Revolution. Feet move, feet move. Chasing wolves across the desert.